be here with you. Tonight, the topic we are exploring is saying yes to life. And I want to open this topic with a common practice in mindfulness, which is called mindfulness of feeling tones. Feeling tones are a little different from how we think about emotions. Emotions, we know what they are: happy, angry, sad. And feeling tones are our tendency to categorize everything we experience as pleasant, unpleasant, and neutral. And the things that are pleasant, we usually hang on to them, we grasp onto them, we don't want them to come to an end. The things that are neutral, we don't always actually even notice them or pay attention to them. And the things that are unpleasant, we kind of want them to come to an end as soon as possible. We push them away, we resist them, or we don't even want them to happen in the first place. And this behavior actually puts us in a constant state of reactivity. So we are holding on to those things that we want, we are pushing away those things that we don't want, and we are in this constant emotional reactivity. And the practice we will do tonight, which is just a simple word, yes, it's the opposite of that. It's this attitude where we can say yes to whatever is happening, welcome it, even if it's pleasant or unpleasant. This doesn't necessarily mean that we have to like what is happening, we have to enjoy what is happening, but we will explore what happens when we have this attitude of yes and acceptance and welcoming, what kind of space this creates in our internal worlds. And on this topic of yes, there are three things I want to say before we begin the meditation. The first is this quote by Angeles Ariane, who says, "Action absorbs anxiety." So often for these unpleasant things in life, we, in the state of resisting them and pushing them away, we actually build up some anxiety around them. We know that they are there. We don't want to look at them. And this active state of saying yes, showing up and saying yes, actually can have an effect of decreasing that anxiety, looking at it face on, facing it, and acknowledging that it's there. So in that sense, this meditation of saying yes is a very active meditation. The second component of it that is worthy to mention is the fact that it has this element of trust. So when we say yes, especially to those things that are difficult and unpleasant, we have this trust and faith that it is workable, that everything that comes up in life is workable. We can feel, we can work with it, we can be present with it. There is in Buddhism a very famous story where the Buddha, his dark side or his shadow side or his qualities that were unpleasant or difficult for him or for others, was symbolized by God Mara. And often the helper, the attendant of the Buddha, Ananda, would see Mara appear even before the Buddha would. And so Ananda would go up to the Buddha and say, "Mara is here," meaning your dark side is here, your shadow side is here. And then the Buddha would have this very calm and welcoming attitude, and he would go up to Mara and say, "I see you, Mara. Come, let's have tea." So this friendly gesture of welcoming Mara, welcoming the difficulty, trusting that we can have tea with it. We can have that kind of friendly gesture or friendly attitude toward it. We can trust that it is workable. And the final thing I want to say is this kind of yes, or saying yes, building our capacity to say yes, builds up our ability to accept life. And there's this quote by William Butler Yeats that I really love, that for me explains what is acceptance really well, or what is calm and equanimity really well. So he says, "We make our minds so like still water, that beings gather about us, that they may see, it may be their own images, and so live for a moment with a clearer, perhaps even with a fiercer life because of our quiet. So when we have this ability to say yes to life, no matter what is happening, even if it's positive or negative, pleasant or unpleasant, pain or sorrow, we build up this equanimity, this quiet and calm that is beneficial to us and to those around us, that helps those around us, as William Butler Yeats says, live a clearer and perhaps fiercer life. So with that, we will begin our meditation, and this will be about 10 minutes, and it will be actually an adaptation of a meditation called The Power of Yes from this book by Tara Brach. I was talking about this book in another video earlier this week. So I will be taking what Tara Brach has written as a basis and kind of adapting from that. So to begin this meditation, you might find a posture in which you are awake and relaxed. This can be a sitting posture. It can be a standing posture. If you're sitting, you can be on the floor, on a chair. You can even be lying down. The key is to, and I will invite you to close your eyes if that feels good, or to lower your gaze to a point on the floor. And to turn inward as we begin, and to sense if your current posture is supporting you, to relax and to stay awake. And if not, you can make a slight adjustment. And here for a few minutes, we will be finding a simple presence first. So if you are a more experienced meditator, you can do what helps you to find presence. This can be a couple of deep breaths or anchoring. And if you are new to the practice, simply begin by slowing down and deepening your breathing. Counting up to 5 when you inhale and counting up to 5 when you exhale. And continuing on like this for a few breath cycles. Each time you exhale, relaxing the shoulders, relaxing the face, the hands. Finding some softness and tenderness for yourself. And then you might let the breath go back to its natural rhythm. And find a place where you can simply observe every inhale and every exhale as it enters and leaves your body. This can be the nostrils or the rise and fall of your chest. And for the next few minutes, keeping the attention here. And if the attention drifts away, kindly and gently bringing it back to your anchor of choice, whether it's the breath or the sounds or something else. You might also do a quick body scan, starting with your head and neck. Just noticing the sensations that are there and relaxing the muscles. Like dissolving ice into water and water into gas. And then noticing your shoulders, your upper arms, your lower arms, your hands. And then letting go in the shoulders and the arms, relaxing them. And then for the chest and the upper back, again noticing the sensations, the internal organs. And then taking a deep breath and then relaxing. And then your belly and your lower back, the sides of your torso, same thing. First noticing what's here, and then relaxing to it. And then the hips and the pelvis area, the buttocks, the sit bones, relaxing them. And then continuing on to your upper legs, your knees, your lower legs, your ankles, your heels, your feet, all the way to each toe. Again, this sense of dissolving ice into water and water into gas. And letting go and relaxing the body. Not holding on to any tension that isn't needed. And from here, as we begin this guided meditation on saying yes, you might first bring to mind an area in your life that has been challenging for you lately. Place in your life where you feel a little bit of emotional reactivity, maybe some grasping and holding on to, or some resisting and pushing away. And making sure you don't pick something that is going to be very overwhelming for you. So picking something that's a scale, that's a 4 or 5, maybe on a scale of 10. It may be something that is happening with someone you love, or a health problem maybe, or some behavior that you catch your mind going back to. Or it could be related to our global context right now. And here you might begin to notice the emotions that are involved. There might be some sadness, anger, frustration, disappointment, loneliness, confusion. And you might play this situation out in your mind a little bit as if it was a movie and stop it at the place where you begin your emotional reactivity is increasing. And then notice these emotions and the way they are expressed in your body. Paying close attention to the throat, chest, and belly areas. And then keeping an eye on the rest of the body as well. You might ask yourself, what is it like in your body to be feeling these emotions? And here you might begin by saying no before you say yes. So as an experiment here, you might extend this word no to this experience, to these emotions, to these sensations in your body. You might sense this energy of this word no, saying no to how things are. No to the emotions, no to the sensations, maybe no to the situation in general. A complete pushing away and resisting it. And in these moments of saying no, of not wanting this experience to be there, you might begin to notice what's happening in your body. What does it feel like in your body to be saying no? Is there a tightness and contraction somewhere? Maybe a bubbling up of energy in your chest. And also noticing what happens to your heart and to your mind. What are the expressions of this no in your heart and mind and body? And you might also explore if you were to continue saying no for the next hour, the next week, the next year, what would that be like for you? What would your life look like in this energy of no? And now you might take a pause. So you might take a deep breath, a full body breath, and then releasing and relaxing, maybe bringing the attention back to your anchor for a moment. And then you might bring to mind the same exact difficult situation you were working on, remembering what it entailed, what the emotions were, what the sensations were. And this time, connecting with the energy of saying yes. Connecting with the story of Mara, of saying, I see you, Mara, come, let's have tea. And connecting with this trust that everything that comes up is workable. And that this action of saying yes can absorb our anxiety. So you might simply begin by whispering to yourself this word, yes. You might say yes to the sadness, frustration, or anger. Yes to tight shoulders or agitation in your hands. Yes to all the sensations in the body. And even saying yes to the parts of you that want to resist the situation. So saying yes to the energy of no, letting the resistance be there, letting it belong. Trusting that even this resistance is workable. And then in these moments, you might notice the expression of this yes in your heart, body, and mind. Is there a sense of softening, relaxing, spaciousness, stillness, or calm? Maybe a letting go in the shoulders, or your posture is maybe slightly changing, you're sitting taller. And what are the qualities of your heart, body, and mind in these moments of saying yes? Yes, I don't like this situation, or this experience is unpleasant, and I welcome it, I accept it. And just like before, you might expand the timeline a little bit and imagine that you continue on with this energy of yes for an hour, a week, a year. And you might ask yourself, who would you be? What would your life look like if you did that? And now for the last minute of this practice, you can just relax, let go of any sense of doing any practice, and sense the quality of your presence until you hear a bell. that concludes our practice for tonight. Thank you so much for joining, and thank you so much for your practice. I hope this was beneficial for you. Just a reminder that all the practices we have been doing the past 12 days are on YouTube, including this one is going to be on YouTube. So if you need to or want to go back to any of them or share with your friends and family, you can easily do that. And I would like to close our session tonight with a poem that I think for me illustrates this energy of yes really well. And it's a poem that I think is one of my favorites, all-time favorites. It's by Mary Oliver, and it's called Wild Geese. You do not have to be good. You do not have to walk on your knees for 100 miles through the desert, repenting. You only have to let the soft animal of your body love what it loves. Tell me about despair, yours, and I will tell you mine. Meanwhile, the world goes on. Meanwhile, the sun and the clear pebbles of the rain are moving across the landscapes, and the prairies and the deep trees and the mountains and the rivers. Meanwhile, the wild geese, high in the clean blue air, are heading home again. Whoever you are, no matter how lonely, the world offers itself to your imagination, calls to you like the wild geese, harsh and exciting, over and over in the family of things. Thank you so much. May we all find our place in the family of things. Take care, be well, and see you tomorrow evening.